A man who admitted his guilt in a double murder back in 2010 here in Madison County learned his punishment today.
A Lexington woman wakes up to find a man with a knife in her home. How she reacted coming up.
Rapper 50 Cent is under fire for a video he posted mocking a janitor at the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky airport. What he didn't know about the worker ahead.
This is WKYT News at 4:30.
Good afternoon. Sam, Dick, and Amber Philpott reporting. A man who admitted playing a role in the murder of a Central Kentucky couple more than 5 years ago has learned how long he will spend in prison.
Daniel Keene pled guilty to kidnapping, murder, and several other charges in connection to the 2010 deaths of Sansere Warford and Charles Walker in Richmond. WKYT's Hillary Thornton is at the Madison County Courthouse with the details. It's our top story at 4:30.
Daniel King took responsibility back in March for his role played in the 2010 double murder. Today, the judge giving him the recommended sentence of 40 years.
It's never enough for someone who takes someone's life the way he did it.
Family of the victims, Sansere Warford and Charles Walker, filled the first two rows of the courtroom this morning as the man who told police he was hired to kill their loved ones learned his punishment. Keene also told investigators he dug a grave while another man hired for the murdered Matthew Denholm tortured and murdered the couple. The pair was reported missing in 2010, and it was not until 2012 that grave was located and their bodies were found. All because of Keene's confession, something attorneys say they took into consideration, however, something that means little to the victim's family.
He did what he did no matter what. He was there, he went along with it. It didn't happen overnight, it happened over a long course of time, and he was involved with it from the time it started. So what he said, like he said it for himself, he didn't say it for us.
Before the judge handed down the punishment for the numerous charges Keene pleaded guilty to, including murder and kidnapping, he turned to the family, reading an apology, then receiving sentences for each charge, all to be served concurrently for a total of 40 years. Now Keene will be eligible for parole in about 20 years, and he does get credit for time served, which his attorneys say is about 4 years. In Madison County, Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
The other man involved in the case, Matthew Denholm, was sentenced to 4 life terms in prison. Denholm pled guilty to 2 counts each of murder and kidnapping. Lexington police are investigating after a woman woke up to find a knife-wielding man inside her home. Police say the man had a T-shirt covering his face when he demanded money from the woman. The victim says he appeared to be drunk. She gave him some money and shoved him out of her house where several children were sleeping at the time. Heavy rain and storms have pushed their way out of the bluegrass this afternoon, but there's a chance for some showers as we head into our evening hours.
And a crazy few days with all the rain, and we're also tracking much cooler temperatures. Chris, what's going on? It's like we've gone in reverse.
Yeah, we're hitting the rewind button back to March. It's a little chilly out there today. Temperatures first week of May, Derby week, we should be in the 70s, anything but. Similar to what we had yesterday, though, Northern Kentucky upwards of 5 degrees colder than at the same point 24 hours ago, with upper 50s to around 60 into much of central and northern Kentucky. Hey, it's a heat wave, southern Kentucky. You're 60 to 65 degrees this afternoon with a peak of sun. Defender Radar Network tracking a couple of very light raindrops here in northern Kentucky. And if you're out this evening, you've got a high school baseball game, a softball game, maybe little league or softball action this evening, may see a passing shower or two on the move, with temperatures that will drop into the 50s and toward the low 50s by 11 o'clock this evening. Winds are a little gusty coming in from the on that northwesterly flow that will introduce another cold front. See all the rain in the northern parts of Wisconsin toward the UP of Michigan. That is right on top of us as we go into the day tomorrow. So some gusty showers and a rumble of thunder heading into town tomorrow. The chilly temperatures continue for a few days. And guys, it's Kentucky Derby week. We're eyeing the weekend when I come back with an hour-by-hour forecast that has some improvement just ahead.
Thanks, Chris. Rapper 50 Cent is facing backlash after posting a video on Twitter. It shows him mocking a worker at Cincinnati Northern Kentucky Airport, accusing the worker of being high on drugs.
What the rapper didn't know is that Andrew Farrell has a hearing impairment, mild autism, and a social anxiety disorder. Mike Byer reports.
Andrew Farrell had just started his workday at the Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. He was on his way to clean one of the gates like any other day.
Then the guy just comes up and just starts talking to me.
The guy was rapper 50 Cent, And he wasn't just talking to Andrew, he was harassing him.
Look at him. Look at the. What kind of you think he took before he got to work today? He hot as a right here in the airport.
What 50 Cent didn't know is that Andrew has dealt with mild autism and social anxiety his entire life. His stepdad, Ken, couldn't believe what he was seeing. He says it's unfair for a person to judge someone they know nothing about.
That's not fair. I mean, that's a slap in the face. Here's a guy who people look up to, and he's going to act like that? Come on.
Andrew's mother, Amanda, says her son is a hard worker, which is why it was heartbreaking for her to see him treated like that.
Andrew didn't know who he was right away, and he ignored him, and he did his job and went about his business. I think he was mad and offended because somebody wasn't flocking to him.
Andrew's family is hoping 50 Cent will apologize to their loved one. If he doesn't, they say they have a simple suggestion for the rapper.
You don't deserve to come to Cincinnati at all. You're done.
As for Andrew, he says he's proud of who he is.
I don't do drugs. I believe in God. And I'm a hard worker.
Mike Byer, WKYT.
Well, despite all the attention online, 50 Cent has yet to make a public comment about that video. Several Cincinnati bars and restaurants have agreed to boycott the rapper's vodka line. Holy Grail Banks, restaurateur Jeff Ruby, MOTR Pub, and Deli Liquor Store have all joined that boycott. Every Tuesday night, millions of viewers tune into a show that can be seen right here on WKYT, NCIS New Orleans. The show is a spin-off from the popular NCIS. Tonight, our cameras are giving you an all-access backstage pass to the crime drama. The show NCIS New Orleans is centered around the work naval criminal investigators do while trying to solve military crimes. Recently, CBS invited me to the Big Easy to get a behind-the-scenes look at where the show is taped and a chance to talk to some of the cast. The show is in its second season, and the cast is eager to take on a third.
It's been a real pleasure. We're learning still. It's only the second year, so we've got a lot to explore still and try and figure out. And we're still in that stage where you're not just everything before we're still discovering, which is a good place to be.
Coming up tonight at 6, we will take you inside the show, and you will meet the real NCIS agent who inspired this hit drama.
What a great opportunity and fun.
Yes.
I'm jealous. I bet a lot of fans are jealous as well. So you had a really great opportunity to see the cast and where they shoot up close. Did anything surprise you by all of what you saw that day?
All of it. I've never been on a soundstage before, and the really unique thing about this show is it is shot entirely in New Orleans, in and around the city. So you get to see a little bit of how they do that, a little bit of what's on the soundstage, everything down to just stickers that are in places are very unique to New Orleans. A lot of attention to detail, and as you know, the accent in New Orleans is a pretty big deal.
Sure.
So Scott Bakula says, it's something he is still working on and trying to perfect. But then Lucas Black, who plays Chris LaSalle, he is born right there in Alabama. So it is no problem for him at all to work on his accent because he's already got it.
So it's very authentic because it's right there in that city.
Authentic is the perfect word for that. So tonight, we'll give you a little bit of a teaser of what's to come. And then, of course, the big story coming up tonight at 11 after NCIS New Orleans.
Fans watch. All right. Thank you, Amber. A gas leak on the University of Kentucky campus causing an evacuation this afternoon. It happened on Martin Luther King Boulevard between Avenue of Champions and East Maxwell. Firefighters turned the gas off so people could return to the area.
Two different projects on I-75 could cause traffic delays around the Fayette-Madison County line. At least one southbound lane of I-75 will be closed between 9 and 3 this week for inspection of the Clays Ferry Bridge. Next week, the closures will happen in the northbound lanes. The state plans to keep 2 lanes open at all times. Now, a second project is also happening on the bridge tonight. Crews will be doing patchwork from 6:30 until midnight. The 2 left southbound lanes will be closed.
Now, Kroger has been creating the rose garland for the Kentucky Derby for 29 years.
Our Deanne Stevens is out and about at Kroger on Chenaway with more on how to use roses in your own home. Hi, Deanne.
Hey, good afternoon, guys. We are here at Kroger where everything's coming up roses this week. They are the official crafter of the beautiful garland of roses for the Kentucky Derby, as well as the lilies. Run for the Phillies. Lilies, run for the Phillies, right? Kim Lockman is with us, a floral designer here at Kroger, who actually is one of like 8 floral designers who helps with the garland of roses. Kim, Busy week for you, a fun week too, though.
Very fun. I'm so privileged to be able to do stuff like this for Kroger's. When you think about it, it's all about history and how many people can say they made the rose blanket for the winner of the Derby.
You guys have done this for years, and
this is our 29th year.
29th year in crafting this. There's so much work that goes into it. You said that you guys all meet early on and you grade the different roses?
We'll start grading on Thursday, somewhere between 7,000 and 8,000 roses. It's an all-day job. Like I said, there's about 80 hours of preparation that actually goes into preparing just to do the garland, and then 10 to 12 hours to make it.
And it always turns out so beautiful, as do your many different floral designs that you guys have here at Kroger. What are we putting together here?
This is a little mint julep cup. You can buy these at craft stores. You can buy them from us. Some people have Derby glasses. Maybe you have a collection of Derby glasses. This is this year's official Derby glass. You can use those too. If you have a little extra tray hanging around the house,
you could tell which one I stuck in.
No, she did.
Clearly, I'm not the floral designer.
In, right? Yeah, it's great if you got stuff around your house that you want to use. The silver tray. You know, obviously silver is kind of like a little sort of from the Derby, yeah.
So people can bring things into you, and you guys make it beautiful.
Sure.
Let's show folks some of you guys hats turned upside down and all kinds of creative things you do.
We always like to use a little bit of mint in the arrangements that we do, partly for fragrance, but also just the fact that the mint julep is like the official drink of the Kentucky Derby. So you can grow your own mint. You can use boxwood out of your yard. Just be creative. Don't overthink it. You know, lots of people are more creative than they think they are when they get down to it. So.
Like me.
Even you, yeah.
Like me. Or you could just come in here and have Kim do it for you, or one of the many different folks that work for the floral design team. And what I love is the smell of roses and mint. Tis the season, tis the time for Derby week. Kim, good luck to you, all that you've got to do the remainder of the week this week. And when you see that beautiful garland of roses on our Kentucky Derby winner, know that this young lady right here had a big part in that. I'm Deanne Stevens, out and about at Kroger today. Back to you guys.
I feel like that's awesome and a lot of pressure all at the same time for that.
A lot of tradition there. Got to keep it looking beautiful.
Beautiful for sure. Couture and technology came together for cutting-edge fashion at the 2016 Met Gala.
And from the best looks to the red carpet excitement, Jamie Yukas has more on fashion's biggest night.
Hollywood's biggest stars marveled in metallics during fashion's biggest night.
Guys, can you look at
Some celeb couples went for a robots in love theme. Kim and Kanye matched their blingy ensembles for the night. Material girl Madonna was also quite flashy with this daring red carpet look.
Madonna, you look just as good from the front as you do from the back. Do you say that to everybody? This year's theme, Manus Ex Machina, fashion in the age of technology. Up until the event, Taylor Swift had kept people guessing, telling Vogue magazine she planned to come as a robot.
Instead, the pop star dazzled in a Louis Vuitton mini. Superstar Beyonce managed to possibly save the best for last, arriving fashionably late in this beaded latex gown. Jamie Yukas, CBS News, New York.
By the way, the night raises money for the Metropolitan Museum of Art's Costume Institute, and an individual ticket costs $25,000. Amber,
I found myself today passing by the heat and air and going, I'm just going to turn it off completely.
I know. We're getting a blast of cool air that's giving us a coolish spring, Chris Bailey.
So you were thinking about doing this,
I just turned it off.
Heat,
completely.
air, no, just going to leave it in the off position for a little while longer. But yeah, some folks may fire up the furnace over the next few days, or maybe the fireplace with temperatures right now. Low 60s. How about 61 degrees? Jackson, Frankfurt, Lexington, London. That's what happens when you have overcast conditions, similar air mass, although we've seen a hint of some sunshine showing up here on our Jackson cam. Most areas have been dry for the better part of the day, though a light shower or two showing up across the northern parts of the area. And on your Defender Radar Network, 1 or 2 light rain showers will begin to creep on into the picture as we go through the evening, and really picking up the pace for the day. Tomorrow's another round of some chill blows into the bluegrass state. Let's check on traffic now. Hopefully things a little better off today than at this same point yesterday. Here's Officer Don.
They are. We do have a couple of collisions, Chris. One is outbound Nicholasville Road at the Circle. Actually, that one is inbound, and it's blocking the left inbound lane there, which is going to help a little bit with traffic flow since it's headed into town for this time of the day. Another crash that police are working on Georgetown Road. This is near Citation. It has the outbound lane blocked there. Drive times this afternoon to Scott County on the interstate looks okay. No impact there as far as traffic flow. And to Winchester on 64, it's a straight shot. Now back to you in the studio.
Officer Don, thank you. A boy's voice goes viral and a bear raids a refrigerator. It's the video that will have you talking. Take a look at this.
He's got the moves, doesn't he? A 4-year-old boy is becoming a viral sensation after singing a rousing rendition of This Little Light of Mine. The boy brought the house down at a North Carolina church over the weekend. You can see him there singing and dancing and clapping for the large audience. The gospel group couldn't get enough of the tiny crooner. Being a little gentleman, though, he refrains from dropping the mic. But with those moves, some thought he should have.
Oh, sweet.
Adorable.
Well, it is more than one Colorado apartment dweller could bear. A bandit that broke into his place was actually a bear searching for food. The young black bear hit the fridge as the resident locked himself in his bedroom and called for help. About a half dozen firefighters and deputies responded to the call. They yelled to scare the bear, then quieted down as the bear poked its head out of the apartment door. They stomped and yelled again as the bear ran down the hall. They didn't want that animal to get too comfortable being around people. One might ask how in the world he made it all the way in that apartment complex, but he did.
You notice they didn't go into the room where he was.
Yeah, they let him come
Very
to them,
smart.
right?
And then, yeah, spook him and get him out of there.
All right.
Much more to come now at 5 o'clock right here on WKYT.